Welcome into another Tuesday night's evening blend. I am Pop Blender. With me, as always, is Matthew Matson. And as always, we're going full screen, kids. Boom. Hit me with your best shot, Matthew. What do we got?
Well, you guys ready for version two? I don't know. I didn't have much except for this.
Nice pull, man. Nice pull.
So this is the ultimate documentary series, a 6-hour documentary on the
Love it.
making of The Thing, called The Thing Expanded. And Creator VC also has one more horror doc that they're doing right now for 1970s, so
Okay.
71 to 79 horror movies. And I mean, I've got them all. I've got the three volumes from 1980 to 1989, 1990 to 94, and 95 to 99.
Um,
So it's going to be 70s, 80s, and 90s. I'm gonna have a 30-year documentary span from all the horror movies that were made in that time frame, which are amazing. And there's a lot because they got to hit the Hammer horror films
oh, sure.
in this one, at least the later ones.
Who doesn't like documentaries, especially when you come, you get into a lot of documentaries are nostalgia documentaries,
Yeah,
but when you get into the stuff that we grew up with,
yeah,
it hits you in the feels, and so yeah, I'm a big fan. It's like watching those episodes of the movies that made us, the
yeah.
toys that made us. They're so much fun, and it brings back great memories, and horror too. In a way, for me, has changed over the years. It's still popular. It's still successful. It's still easily made on a small budget,
Right.
but um, it has
And,
evolved, and it's a bit more graphic, generally speaking. I
yeah,
guess
if you really dig down into it, you can see how horror movies change the entire film industry. And through special effects, even through storytelling, and boosting up independent creators. I mean, we wouldn't have Sam Raimi, Robert Rodriguez, uh, and to a degree Quentin Tarantino, because his movies are just graphic, I guess. But um, but
yeah,
but some of these guys, they created the independent film industry through horror movies. Um, and some of the horror movies skate on the line of pornography, right? So you've got the
yeah,
horror
of
porn
course,
things going on.
right.
And that launched a lot of careers for people like Jamie Lee Curtis, and a whole bunch of other people started in these horror movies and kind of went on to do other things. Um, and there's like you said, so cheaply made. And if you have somebody who's creative enough, can work hard enough and tell a good story, you can do something on low budget that's really, really interesting.
Yeah, it's like I said, documentaries having a span of films or kind of a recollection of that stuff, and you get to see it through the ages and stuff, and you see how technology changes, techniques change, filming changes, right? All that stuff. Then you get to see the different genres within the genre, how slasher films become
Yeah.
the thing, right? Even the sci-fi horror stuff is
Mm-hmm.
a genre within itself. So yeah, pretty cool, man. I don't have anything new to share. I'm not gonna lie. Just myself and my feelings. Uh,
So, did you take advantage of any of the Amazon sales today?
I did not, and it's because, as you reminded me before we went live, that I am a sucker and I just rely on the same old places and the same old things and the same old sales. I did not take advantage of any of the Amazon stuff, but from what I hear, it was good for those, and some of that stuff may still be up, right?
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
maybe
It's
last
as
a
long as
while.
they
So
have stock of it, it's going to be up
beautiful.
for at least the. I think about the next week as they're doing the Prime Day sales.
Okay. Well, let's say hello to a few folks as they roll in, and we'll hit up some others as people come in. Triple D's Customs, always keeping us
What's
on
up?
on our toes, changing his name. And then let's see here, HK Viper, what's up, HK? I got 3-star draw, war chest full of toys, cooking with Eric, Justin Booth.
What's up,
And
guys?
speaking of which, I just want to mention, yeah, war chest talking about your DVD.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Uh,
he's all about that.
well, I mean that entire series is amazing.
Yeah,
And they've done The Thing expanded, they've done Aliens expanded, they've done Alien Origins. They have In Search of Tomorrow, which was their 1980s science fiction documentary. So they're branching out into all kinds of stuff, and they do a really quality job of
love it.
bringing everybody back that they can to talk about it today and
Yeah,
reflect
that's
on.
the hard part, right?
Yeah,
Tracking people down.
yeah,
Also, obviously, this was years ago. Some of those people are not with us anymore.
yep.
It's Chad. What's up?
What's up,
What's up?
Chad?
What's up, you chump? And there's Shane saying, "Hey, look, man, I got a headache. It's all good, brother. You
Whoa,
do what you
sorry,
do.
bud.
You're busy. You stream all the time, man. Take a break. Take some time off and chill out for a little bit."
Hydrate, man, hydrate.
Yes, 13th Assassin is here. What's up? What is up? All right.
What's
So,
going
like I
on?
said, as people roll in, I'll highlight you if I can. Wanted to kind of get into a little bit tonight about Steven Spielberg. Right, Disclosure Day has not done what a lot of people were hoping it would do. And look, I have not seen it yet, but I'm going to tell you, folks, and I don't know if you feel this way. I've watched enough reviews,
Yeah,
live streams, spoiler. I almost don't feel like I need to see the film because I don't
yeah.
think it's going to do for me what I was hoping it would do. I don't know if you feel the same way.
I haven't seen anything that's compelling me to go see it, and more so to the fact that some people are like, it's not really even worth it because nothing happens in the movie. Ultimately, that's what they say is that right when you think you're getting to the heart of the movie, it's over.
From what I
And
understand, it should have started at the end
yeah,
and then worked its way forward from there rather than the disclosure day basically being the culmination of the film and then
yeah,
you don't get to see anything really
right.
past that. And I don't mind saying that because I think anybody that goes and sees the movie, anybody that sees it on streaming is going to come away pretty disappointing. It
And
really
I
feels
think
that
that's
way.
what the biggest talking. That's why people are talking about it like that because they're saying, "Hey, look, we expected to see this,
Yeah.
and it didn't happen until the last 5 minutes of the movie, and then the movie was over before you could even see what was said, not even what was said, much less what happened after."
Yeah, and look, I don't want to do a breakdown of it, but I think Disclosure Day basically spurred on kind of the idea, and we're going to look at Steven Spielberg's 35 films that he's directed through the years. Esquire put together a list, and they ranked them. Now, you guys are probably going to have issues with this ranking. I know
Yeah,
you and I
probably.
will, but I want
Yeah,
to go through it here in just a little bit.
yeah,
There is some other news. There's someone that worked on the movie Obsession
mm.
who has basically decided to destroy their career.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. That's sad, but
yeah. So we're gonna look at that too. I think mentioning Supergirl and its opening, I think
the
has been
projected
pretty.
openings, it's not going to make number one movie
Yikes.
in its own opening weekend. It's not even going to come close, I don't think.
Now you do have Toy Story 5,
It's
right?
going to crush it. It's going to
A-
crush it for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
and all accounts, Toy Story 5 is a return to form. I know it's one of those phrases
We will
that they're
see.
like, we will see, okay? But from the people I trust, um, that's what's been said. We'll see. I'm definitely going to go see it this
Yep.
weekend. So yeah. But yeah. So we'll get into it, man. I would be remiss, obviously, if we did not say hello to the lovely and talented Clint
What's up,
Jorgensen.
Clint?
Says I think Kathleen was the brains behind Spielberg. She left to become boss, and he was exposed. Right. And of course,
Yeah.
I know you're being sarcastic. But you have to be.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Look,
No.
you're a free thinker, buddy, but you ain't that free. Um, so look, let's jump into the box office. Let's quickly roll through that.
Hey, I heard about this new treatment that might be good for what's her name, Alcock, Supergirl.
Oh yeah, what's
A,
that?
a Japanese scientist has found a way to um, cut off that extra chromosome on the cellular level.
Hello.
I mean, it might help her. I don't know.
Might help a lot of
Sorry.
people, actually. There's a few of them I can think of right now. But anyway, those shall remain nameless. All right, look, let's hit it up really quickly. Yes, Disclosure Day. Did it go to number one in 4 days? Yes, it did, because it's a Spielberg film. It's
Yeah.
like a Nolan film. If it was the worst Nolan film, it would still debut at number one over the weekend.
Yep. And that
Uh,
goes back to what's going to happen with the Odyssey, but it's going to tank after that.
Yikes. We'll
Yeah.
see. But Disclosure Day coming in at under 100 million worldwide. It is not going to have legs, and that's because
Nope.
people are going to tell their friends there is no reason to go see this movie.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that. Now, anybody in the chat, if you have seen it, please let us know. Let us know what you think. Obsession at number two, holding strong. Probably will hit number one again,
Yep.
possibly during its run.
Oh, Toy Story comes out.
It's gonna be
No,
hard.
It won't, it
It's
won't
gonna
hit
be
number
hard.
one again.
But maybe in the next day or two, next
Oh,
couple
yeah, yeah.
days, right?
Yeah.
It's possible. Not on the weekend.
Yeah.
Scary Movie. I'm honestly a little bit surprised at this, but I think it's because Masters of the Universe tanked so hard at the box office.
Yeah.
And that's a shame, because I think most of us that saw it did enjoy it. Although
I
War
got- I
Chest
got a
Full of
bone to pick.
Toys was not happy. What's this bone picking you got to do, Mr. Wonderful? What's
I gotta pick a bone with Mr. Travis here.
up? Uh-oh.
Man,
Hang
I
on.
hit up Ed to help me out with something, and he told me last night that he couldn't because he was helping you out instead. And I'm like, Ed, that
Ouch.
hurts. But Pop,
Ouch.
but I think Pop's gonna come through for me.
Yes.
As long as he gets those
is.
tickets.
Yes, he is. Let's see. There we go.
I'm
Yeah,
messing with you, Travis. I'm messing with you.
the tickets for Titan Toy all done for. Don't you worry
With
about
Joe Fest.
any Joe
ones.
Fest exclusives. Don't you sweat that.
'Cause
That's
those
gonna be
are-
handled.
Ticketed also.
Yes. No, that's going to be handled. We'll make sure you're well taken care of, Matthew. I promise you are. And look, Travis, really, no need. No need at all. Yeah. Just
No,
messing
man,
with
I am totally messing with you.
you. Look, Michael, still killing it, dude. Still
Yeah.
crushing it. It just released. I think it's did it release in Japan? Or is it this weekend coming
don't
up?
know.
It hasn't released in Japan yet. Just wait for that. It is definitely going to cross the $1 billion mark. I have no doubt about that. Star Wars, Mandalorian, and Grogu. Look, what more can I say about a film that was basically 4.5 episodes of a condensed script from season 4 and a bad condensed script on top of that? I know you agree with me.
Yeah.
What a disappointment, but basically right on par for where the Lucasfilm and Star Wars brand has been for a while now. The rumors about them touching Heir to the Empire and stuff, I don't want them. I don't want them to touch that stuff. I don't want them to go anywhere near it other than where they're going with Ahsoka season 2, which has been delayed, by the way.
Yeah.
to 2027. The Furious, after 4 days, just pulling up just a little over $16 million.
Some people are excited about it.
I have heard.
It looks interesting.
I've heard good things. It's just, it comes at a bad time, Matthew, because it's going to get buried
It
after
is.
this weekend. Absolutely buried.
Well, I don't know about. Yeah, maybe. I think Obsession is going to stay at the number 2 or 3 slot.
Yeah. Yep. Stop That Train. The Sheep Detectives.
Hey, The Sheep Detectives was good. Go see it.
I know you recommend it. The Breadwinner, Devil Wears Prada 2. That's pretty much it. I mean, Super Mario Galaxy movie did crack $1 billion, which was the first $1 billion movie of the year.
Yep.
And so Toy Story 5 is soon to follow.
Oh yeah, and that's
so.
I predicted that one's gonna be pretty big. We're gonna try and see it, I'm sure, as soon as we can.
No so,
but Masters of the Universe dropping 71%. I'm sorry, it's not coming back.
Well, and as Justin says here too, look, wasn't great. It was a fun movie. That's mostly what I've heard from.
Yeah,
from
I
most
liked
everybody.
it, and
was fun.
honestly, it's good. And as many people as you think are gonna say they're gonna go see it this weekend, It's not going to matter. It's
Yeah.
done.
No.
It has missed its opportunity, and with Toy Story coming out, I mean, its competition is getting harder and harder every day.
But what do you feel about the sentiment that they really didn't care?
That's
Like,
bullshit.
I think they care, but
Yeah,
if we're looking at Amazon in particular, is this a way that they can spin this to, hey, we're just trying to get the IP out there for people. We want to kind of reboot this and get it in the zeitgeist, and then we're going to come back with a show, a series of some kind,
well,
whatever. Maybe not another motion
so
picture.
yeah, so this uh, is going to alter their trajectory for properties such as this. Right, they're going to keep it to streaming, and they're going to keep the budgets low, which they should. Right,
Yeah.
um, because this movie's not going to make its money back, not anytime soon. If they sell it, physical media copies, they may get that. I don't know if they're going to, take consider some of the merchandise that sold from that into account, because a lot of people are liking those action figures and the toys that are coming from it. But Amazon doesn't need its film television media group. That's just like what they're spending their extra cash on. It's basically it's a write off to them, no matter what, right? And so when you talk about how Hollywood got started, the Hollywood got started in the greatest grifts of all time of money laundering and hiding cash flows for things.
Still
Um,
goes on today. Let's, come
Still
on.
goes
We
on
know that.
today, and we know it's a fact. And so that's all Amazon is doing here is they're writing stuff off. They're hiding money. They're shifting it around. So they're making even more money, even when the things flop. Um, it goes back to my Charleston Comics conversation that I had with Larry Hama, which was a comic book company that was run by the mob. And they hired this artist writer in, and he started selling books. And the owner of the company calls him in and says, "What the hell are you doing?" And he goes, "What? I thought our job was to sell comics." He says, "No, it's not to sell
Yeah.
comics."
Hello.
uh,
Just
because
make
they
bad
had to
ones.
do write-offs and everything. But
Right.
funny part about that story continues is that their presses were starting to break down, and they didn't know what to do with them because nobody would buy them because they're no good. So they found a way, they found a connection, and they sold them to Mussolini. And they put them on a ship, and as soon as the ship left the United States borders, they sunk it, and they said, "U-boats sunk the boat. Sorry, it's wartime. Nothing we can do."
There's a whole lot going on with that story, right? Like there's way too many angles that all make sense. That's the scary part about it. Yeah, no, that look, if you don't think that there isn't the old hide the money, bury holes in the backyard thing going on, Swiss bank account bullshit
Yep.
in Hollywood, then you're sorely mistaken because a lot of times you could look and see what was spent and you go, where is it at?
Where's that? Yeah.
Where did that money go? Now, I did want to bring up a
The
couple
27
comments.
producers.
Yeah, yeah, right. Or the four writers or six writers as Warchest says, Motu had its moments. I hate that I can't really give it a good score or a recommend. 3 stars says, hey, it's a lot better than the box office receipts. Uh, I,
I
I I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I do. Again, we said this is a super uphill property. Just on the front end, right? No matter how excited people may be, it does not have that even nationwide cash to put it out there where people are just automatically like, oh, I've got to go see this, right? It had to be a banger,
Yep.
knockout banger, perfect of a movie to get that word of mouth. Eric Thurman, what's up, says should have been a Christmas time release.
No,
Uh,
it would have gotten buried at
I
Christmas
don't
time.
think it would have mattered. I
No,
mean, to be
it
honest
doesn't.
with you,
They,
um,
they, they're, this was the best time to release it, honestly, because it
yeah,
was in between things and there was not anything else really going on,
they at least had a
except for
couple weeks. Couple
except for these
weeks,
excitement for these low budget horror movies that people are
right?
loving. Hey,
Yes,
Pop, did you get your SpaceX stock? Because it's already gone up a whole bunch.
I'm way behind the curve on shit like that. I just say that by the time you find out, it's far too late for you to be able to. You got to be a politician. You need the
Yeah.
insider information, right? Lunchbox Killer, what's up? Good to see you. Yeah, Clint says Amazon looks at business different. They focus on residual cash earnings over net income.
Yeah.
Amazon measures long-term investments with a mix of residual cash. Yeah, I mean, just their whole business model, like the whole
Well,
Prime thing. It's like whatever you get Prime, fine, but it's a byproduct of you paying for free shipping.
and Warner Brothers wouldn't have gone bankrupt and had to sell their company had they thought more like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the Warner Brothers hated each other, and so they divided their company up into all these little fragmented pieces that were always competing against one another.
Yes.
Warner Music was competing against home video. Home video was competing against film, and film was competing against animation. They were all separate entities, and they couldn't bring their profits together to say this is how much this whole property made for us. They had to divide it up and say profit, loss, whatever, and go on to the next thing. And it really caused a lot of infighting and fractionization and caused them to lose what was it? I don't know, $416 billion or whatever.
Yeah, a lot of valuation. The I agree with War Chest here too about $15 for a movie ticket,
It's
right? You
hard.
subbed Amazon,
It's hard.
$139 a year. It does make that ticket money look like a joke. It's it's the battle. It's the battle right now. Really about trying to get people to go watch a movie and spend
Yeah.
that kind of money when they can just hang out at home. It's the same thing as going to sporting events, right? And then I would assume yes, the tax credits. Now they didn't do a Batgirl. Okay, they
Ah.
didn't do a Batgirl. They could have done a Batgirl, but they didn't, and probably would have gotten even more tax credits.
Well,
Um,
we go to filming locations, right? And everybody's moving their productions out of California because it's too expensive to do it in California. And so they
what?
went to Atlanta, and then Atlanta got all corrupted. Then they went to Canada, and Canada got all corrupted. And then they go to the UK, and the UK still offers the biggest tax breaks.
Okay, so I saw a post about this today, and so we can kind of skim this quickly. There are people trying to get our government involved in trying to figure out how to keep filming here or to ban companies from going overseas, especially to other countries. And I know, and I heard this from Nerdrotic earlier today. The last thing I want is tax dollars going towards somehow keeping Hollywood alive. It's their fault. It's
Yeah,
what California has done to itself,
yeah.
and
Our
we
tax
don't need
dollars have been
federal
keeping it
money.
alive for the last six
Yes,
years.
and we don't need more federal money going
No,
to a bunch of fucking idiots who don't
especially
know how to
these
run
these
their own
idiots.
businesses.
Well, and they want to control our lives and stuff like that. Anyway,
No,
um,
but it's true. I mean,
yeah,
they want to fucking get on a soapbox and tell you how to live and what you should think, but they
yeah.
can't handle their own business in their own backyard. 610 Yojo Daddy, what's up? Lick that like button and subscribe. Yes, what's up 610? Good to see you, man.
Somebody mentioned something up back there just a second ago about selling SpaceX
Uh,
stock.
oh, well, that was actually right here, and that's
Yep,
Clint
there we go.
saying you better sell it in about 4 months. Once it
Okay,
hits
so
6 months, all the
here's
private
the
equity
deal.
holders are going to be selling.
Most brokerage companies will ban you for life if you don't hold a stock for at least 6 months. So if these guys are going to do that, I would imagine that a lot of them are going to wait to that 6 month time frame um, before they sell it. But again, stocks are more for long term gain.
Right.
If you're playing the short game, you're going to kill yourself.
Um, Yojo Daddy, you know what? I need to travel down there and I need to pick up an extra roll and then maybe just maybe they'll discover me and I'll be a star. No, but I agree with you. They are filming down there all the time. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? I mean, compared to what, as Warchest says, don't give California anything. Yeah, 100%. Let them do what California does
I mean,
best,
how
which
much
is
money they spent? What, $4 billion on a rail system that hasn't even
oh
laid one piece of track? I mean, come on.
that's just the rail system. I mean, we could go
Yeah, no,
line by
yeah,
line,
yeah.
right? I mean, seriously. Now, had Amazon released Masters exclusively through Amazon, okay, like through Prime, and
Hmm.
maybe charge $25 for it. Would it have done better financially? Justin says maybe. I,
I
I
don't think
don't.
so.
I don't think so. Just because.
Well, in one sense, it may have because Amazon will take 100% of that money instead
Yeah,
of
I
having to
guess
pay
that
the
makes
theaters.
sense. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but you're also getting half, a third, a quarter of the amount of ticket sales,
Right.
right? So yeah, I don't know.
Well, Todd, I'm sure there are better stocks out there, and I also am no financial advisor. Do not take financial advice from me. However, if
Definitely
you
don't
want to
take it from
take
me.
if you want to take toy pre-ordering advice from me, uh, follow my lead and just go to Pulse for everything,
Or don't, or
or
just don't, or just don't.
don't. I'm fucking stupid, bro. I'm so stupid, and it's so true. Okay, so there is a story I wanted to get into, and I know that you have definitely heard about this. So let me pull this up. Excuse me while I whip this thing out. Um, and it is about the art director from the Obsession movie.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Hopefully, this is not going to be one of those fake articles where it just gives me like part of it. So, this is a story that came out. You guys might have heard about this. The movie Obsession has become a huge hit on a tiny budget. And the art director came out, and then she complained about being paid a little over $6,000 for 20 days of working on a low budget film. She's upset, I think, after the fact now that because this movie has made a lot of money, okay, and she's not really entitled to any of it, she has now put out posts on X saying that she wanted to organize a union kind
Mm.
of, she wanted to flip the production. She wanted to flip it and get people to either walk off or band together. But she said that her and the crew were allegedly underpaid despite record success. Um, so so
I mean, six
basically,
thousand dollars for 20 days worth of work isn't too bad. It's a
yes.
gig. I mean, you're working in a gig business.
So this is what she said. Okay, I've debated this for a long time. I've been holding a lot of weight over the past 2 years. Okay,
Go to the gym.
says
Oh, sorry.
says that yeah, right, bitch. So she says I'm gonna say it. Okay, since about the production. Obsession was made for $750,000 and is projected to make $250 million. How much I made? 300 a day as art director. This was $6,700 after taxes, no mileage. Now, she does discuss about wearing different hats, like picking up catering or having to drive people places, having to clean the set and get it ready for the next day. Um, she mentions there were people who were volunteers who were getting paid in gas and mileage. Now, here's where she goes wrong. She says this wasn't even paid on time. Now, yeah, that's a problem, but this is a low budget, shoestring budget, under $1 million. Um, she says so to make a $250 million grossing film, some of these amazing people had to come out of pocket to work on set. Now they've been paid. Okay,
Yeah.
these people have all been paid.
Right.
She talks about having to wear many hats during the production. But ultimately, she was trying to get other people to share their rate, maybe share their experience. And she says, maybe we can turn a tide in the film industry because she's upset that she doesn't get any of the money that this movie is making right now.
Yeah.
And Matthew, can you tell us what she could have done and why she is now ruining her career?
Yeah, well, she could have negotiated a percentage of the box office as part of her payment if she felt that her payment was unworthy or if she was doing too many things before the production was even finished. If she thought she was being underpaid, she should have gone to them and said, "Hey, can I at least get a percentage on the box office from this?"
Very
Right?
normal.
You know,
Very normal.
I mean, that's the way you would handle this. You would go to them and say, "Hey, Okay, you're just looking at sour grapes after the fact because you knew that your contract was um, sufficient for what you needed at the time because you live in a gig economy. That's your job. That's the profession that you've chosen. Is this gig economy? You've chosen this, okay? And now you're complaining about it, and you want something stable, something that's different. Well, guess what? That's not this industry. Go, be a desk clerk somewhere. Go work in retail. I don't know. Do something else because that's not the way this economy works in the film industry. And if you think you want to change it, it's never going to change. What they're going to do is they're just going to go out of places where they don't have to use your union to do things because they don't want to have to pay that. Or you negotiate a better deal at the front end and you have just torpedoed your entire career because you're coming out and you're laying all this out and you're complaining and bitching and moaning and whining. And guess what? Everybody else is going to look for the next best person to hire because they don't want to have to deal with you on the back end of anything.
This is as like to say a bell end. This is a bell end who is pissed off, knowing full well going into an extremely and look a $750,000 production, folks. That's a lot of money to you and me.
Yeah,
But when you're
that's
making a
nothing.
movie, that's
It's nothing.
nothing.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it is low budget, but you still okay. In my
if you
neck of the
believe in the
woods,
film,
20 days and $6,700 that you took home, that's a good deal.
she almost got 1% of the budget.
Yeah,
I mean, so to me, it's like yes, negotiation, right? The other thing, yes, it's a career booster, it's a resume booster. You could say, yes, I was the art director on this film, and then you open yourself up to all kinds of jobs where then you can negotiate your rate, right? You can get
yep,
advice from other people and then you can suss those things out. But instead, by coming on here and not only saying these comments, but then also admitting that you were trying to flip the production in your mind during it, but you didn't do it, even though you're kicking yourself now, but then trying to get other people to come on and share their experience. And you're just opening up a door, basically torpedoing your career. And this is not uncommon to negotiate back in points
yeah,
on movies. And so if you really believed in the film, if you thought what you were making was something that was really special, even if it didn't make $250 million, even if it makes 10 million, right?
hmm
Even if
yeah,
it makes 15 million, whatever that number looks like, $6,000, or you can negotiate on the back end and possibly get a percentage of points based off the movie.
yeah.
On top of that, you're also talking about what kind of streaming deals are you looking at? What kind of physical media deals are you looking at? What kind of marketing deals are you looking at? So there's all kinds of different things.
Well, and
This,
it kind of goes
this is
back to
idiotic.
Scarlett. Yeah, it kind of goes back to Scarlett Johansson as well, right? That was slightly different because nobody expected this to happen because nobody understood that the streaming thing was going to happen right then and there. But at the same time, that was a contract negotiation.
Right. I mean, bottom line is that my word filter sucks. Not really. I like it the way it is. I have certain words. It's up to you to filter yourself. No.
I
So
didn't
here.
I didn't see anything pop up.
No, no, no. Matthew would get it, and if it's something that I felt is inappropriate, it is what it is. I'm not worried about it. Don't you worry about 13th Assassin. So here's the deal. Bottom line, it is sour grapes. She has ruined her career. Now, will there be people that come out to support her? I'm sure there will be, but within the industry, yes, it is literally complaining about something when you could have taken this as a huge victory and parlayed this into something far, far more. And so yeah, it's an interesting story. You don't hear about this often, but I think it's because this movie was made for so little and is making so much, and it's turning the creator into a huge star and
Yeah,
opening up all kinds of doors. This is someone who worked on the film and is now pissed off that they didn't get paid more, but has now ruined future employment possibilities. And it's just a mess, dude. It's like keep your mouth shut, take the victory lap, go to the different interviews and all that stuff. But instead, nah, it's a done deal. It's
yeah,
amazing. sometimes obviously it is better to bite your tongue
Yeah.
and deal with it, and then try to look for whatever the positive. The positive is you were the art director on a hugely successful independent film.
And if it wins any kind of awards or just the fact
You
that it
get
made so much money, you're getting credit, accolades, and other jobs based off of that. Now you won't get those jobs.
Yeah, it really is. You're talking about possibly being able to stand on a stage and be nominated, at the very least nominated, for an award at what is considered extremely important award shows in
The
that industry.
Yep, the 13th Assassin. That was not our filters whatsoever. That was straight up YouTube's filters. Uh, there's nothing I can do about a YouTube filter. It
Yeah.
decided to pull that comment.
Yeah. So yeah, nothing I can do about that. I have certain words typed in.
No,
That
yeah,
are,
but that none of those
they're-
words were in
yeah,
that comment,
right.
and so that is straight up a YouTube thing.
Yeah, they like to they make their own rules and they break their own rules
All the time.
all the absolute time.
Just remember, exclamation points and stars. I'm just saying.
Right. So I had a couple comments starred really quickly. Yojo Daddy talking about film work and whatever, getting offers to do extra work because of his height all the time. Just never done it. Yeah, I mean, why not? Have fun.
You
do
should be
something
fighting
different.
Reacher. You should be fighting Reacher.
Right? And Justin Booth says she should have negotiated for residuals if the film was a box office smash. You can't cry about it after the fact. Exactly.
Yeah, but you got to have faith in what you're doing, and always think about the points on the front end. And that's what some of the best, most successful actors have done in their careers from the beginning. Is they worked for pennies, but every time they worked for pennies, they negotiated points.
Yeah, especially if you really do believe in something. And I would say this, look, don't get me wrong.
Even if you don't believe in it, if you negotiate points,
right.
How do you lose?
She's talking about living paycheck to paycheck. Well, who isn't, for one?
Well, yeah, and this is the career choice path that you chose. That's the nature of it.
Yes. So
just ask Travis Moody, who's doing DoorDash.
Hey, it's part and parcel with the the business. Blah, blah, blah. I'm tongue tied like a son of a bitch. G.I. Jet Man, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. And yes, 13th. It is always the same kids crying about the same shit. Look, she's 30 years old. I don't know if that necessarily fits into whatever, but it does not shock me when I compare that to other comments I hear from people in the same age bracket. Okay. Right. So I don't know if you saw this story. This was about Brendan Wayne. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is another. I'm tired of this lie, Matthew. Here is the lie.
There's always a lie.
The media always tries to talk about Ahmed Best, who portrayed Jar Jar Binks in the prequel trilogy, right? They always try to portray his plight and Jake Lloyd's plight after Phantom Menace in particular as being the toxic Star Wars fans who pushed Ahmed Best into possibly self-deleting himself. That's
not the true narrative. That's not what happened.
And you know this. Now, people may not know this, and that's why I wanted to reiterate this story and this point again, because I'm so tired. Brendan Wayne is the body double. He plays Pedro Pascal's jockstrap in The Mandalorian. He is
the Mandalorian for the most part.
He is the Mandalorian. Okay. He is John Wayne's grandson, correct?
Yep.
So nonetheless, he is kind of going to bat about the fact of Ahmed Best and how his return in the Mandalorian series was something that was owed to him, considering the backlash he received when he played Jar Jar Binks. And I've seen this lie perpetrated so many times. You guys may have seen this, but the lie is basically it was the fans and the fans alone who had it out for Jar Jar Binks and the guy that played him. And it says here, he says, quote, Ahmad Best might have been my favorite, whereas some people are like, hey, we didn't quite get the reaction we wanted for you. But he says, and then they made him the baddest Jedi on Earth in the Mandalorian show. It was such a beautiful thing to see, and it was payback for something that was owed to him, in my opinion. He would never say something like that, but I loved it because it was incredible. The payback being that, oh, he got to come back as a Jedi because the fans made fun of him. Matthew, was it the fans that hated Jar Jar Binks and
No,
Ahmad
so
Best? Who was it?
This is directly from Ahmed Best himself. He said, I have always loved Star Wars fans. Star Wars fans have been the nicest, most gracious people I have ever met in my entire life. They have always been extremely supportive of me. The media attacks on me and my person, my performance, my choices, it did crush me. It did change the way I was trying to do everything. It was never the fans. The fans never came after me for any of this. He emphatically stated many times that it was the media who did this, not the fans, not Star Wars fans. And this is just, it's ridiculous.
Do you remember in 1999 how huge Twitter was? Do you remember in 1999 how huge Facebook and Instagram were? Do you remember how interconnected we were in chat rooms across the world in 1999?
Well, now I do that. Some BBSs and
I heard that. Maybe some BBLs. No, anyway, so you're absolutely right. It was the mainstream media that went after this character. They went after this actor, and they have been trying to wash their hands of this lie. For decades now. And every time I see that, and this is what disappoints me so much about Brendan Wayne here. Because all it takes, folks, is just a few minutes of research. I brought this up the other night on Sunday night. Take 10 minutes out of your day. If there's anything that doesn't sound right to you, if there's some statement or story, take 10 minutes out of your day and research it. This has been, and unfortunately, who was talking about it, it was Star Wars Theory who did a video about this. And not one time did he bring up, not one single time did he bring up the media and what their role was in turning on Jake
Star
Lloyd.
Wars Theory or Star Wars Explained?
Star Wars Theory.
Really? Okay.
Yes. And I just
because he has talked about it before.
I know he has, but he did a whole video on it, didn't even bring it up. And I'm not saying like, that's the end all be all. My point is it got me thinking about it. And it just got me tired of hearing the same old lie and getting the same blame as Star Wars fans have gotten now for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with Rose Tico. It's the same thing with Finn's character. It was all manufactured bullshit is what it was. Same with Riva, right? Same thing there. This was all manufactured bullshit.
It is. And the problem is, this is what my biggest issue is, when the media keeps putting stories out like this, they continue to bury the truth. And then you have millions and millions of people who believe the lies. And this is another lie that's been perpetrated over and over again about Ahmed Best. And as you said, he himself even came out. Do you think that was front page news, Matthew? Or do you think it's easier?
That got buried.
Yes, that this is front page news for whatever website, like Movie Web or IGN that wants to report on, or whoever, Hollywood Reporter. It's the same old story. But at the very least, I want to bring it up so you guys know that this story is false. It's not true. It wasn't the fans. Now, were there some fans that were not happy with the Phantom Menace, with those roles? Yes. I was not thrilled with Jake Lloyd's role. It wasn't my favorite, okay? It wasn't convincing for me.
And there were a lot of fans who didn't care for Jar Jar Binks, but they never went after the actor.
No, it wasn't about the actor,
No,
right? It's
it never
about
was about the actor
the
because,
character and the
yeah,
writing.
yep,
So yeah, I saw this pop up again, and I'm like, come on, guys, like this is, it's 3 days ago. I'm like, are we doing this again?
of course.
And to me, it's like, are we simping for the Mandalorian? Are we putting this story out about Brendan Wayne so that we can try to get some goodwill about the Mandalorian? So maybe somebody might go spend $15 to go see it.
Too late.
Yeah, way too late. And as Eric Thurman says, those movies grew on me. They are definitely looked at now
Well,
differently than I think they were looked at the
considering the
time.
sequel trilogy,
There you go.
when you compare it, it's always about perspective. I will say
Yep.
that Revenge of the Sith was a much better movie than the first two. Um,
Oh yes.
Attack of the Clones, I can only watch about half of that movie. Like any scene with Anakin and Padme, I'm out.
And I'm curious too, like with the chat, what you guys feel about going back and looking at that prequel trilogy and kind of how you guys feel about it now. I look, Attack of the Clones for me, yes, it is the one for me that I think if I didn't see another one of them again, I could probably wipe that one off the list.
George
It,
Lucas had too much of a hand in writing, and you could tell because it was very copied from Gone with the Wind or just bad.
and as 3 Star says, I didn't like Jar Jar. It never even crossed my mind to blame the actor for a
Right.
shitty CGI character. And I think most people feel the same way.
Yep.
They don't even think about the actor. They just think about the character,
And
right?
most people didn't even know that Ahmed Best
Yeah.
was in Revenge of the Sith. He was on camera as Ahmed Best in the background of the bar scene, along
Well,
with Anthony Daniels.
right, and that is definitely glossed over. You're right, that is glossed over as well. But look, they brought him back as a Jedi. He had a
Woo!
cool scene where he rescues Grogu, flies away in the little ship, gets away. That's cool. I have no problem with that. That's fun. I'm glad the guy got the role. I'm glad they gave it to him. I'm glad he got to
Yep.
do that. I think that's fun. But don't pretend like it's our fault that this guy suffered for years. You know who did like Jar Jar? You know who did like Jar Jar, Matthew? Because I thought
All
about
the
my
kids.
hello. I thought about my cousin's comment, three
Yep.
star, and it's like, yeah, we were 20 something,
Yeah.
whatever, 19, 20,
My
whatever.
my
The kids
buddy's
love Jar
daughter.
Jar.
Yeah, my buddy's daughter loved Jar Jar Binks, right? And his wife too. His wife actually liked the character, and the daughter got into it, and she liked that character, and that's her Star Wars. That's who she grew up with, right?
Now, what scares me, my friend, is people that are growing up with the sequel trilogy, and that's their Star Wars. And I hate it
I don't
because,
think that anybody's growing up with that Star Wars.
man,
I
man,
look, no, no,
wait, give it
hey,
15 years and we're going to see the articles come out
look,
about how they're underrated and how dude, I'm telling you.
I don't think so. I think everybody's going to look back on that and say these are really terrible, um, unless cinema gets that much worse between now and then,
Well,
which is always a possibility. It's always a possibility.
yeah.
But I guarantee you that any of the children who went to go watch these sequel trilogy movies either will never watch another Star Wars thing ever again, or before they went to go see those movies, they saw the original trilogy and probably the prequel trilogy before they went to see those. And if they had that background, then if they have a connection to Star Wars,
Mm.
it's not going to be the sequel movies. It's going to be the originals.
And
So
and I,
they're either done with Star Wars or they like the old Star Wars.
and look, I'm by no means I agree with you to a certain extent. I
Yeah.
do. However, I, I I just feel like you have young kids that were so young that just that's their idea of Star Wars. Ray Palpatine is their idea. I almost said it. Their idea of Star Wars,
But
right? And,
if
and
you
that's
if you think about it, how would they have known about Star Wars at all?
you're right.
Really,
You're
It would
right.
be their parents.
Yeah, correct.
And their parents are going to get them excited about going to see it by showing them the original movies.
And their parents, if you're talking about young children, you're talking about people that came up on the prequels.
Potential or the originals. I mean,
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like 2017, 2019. Whatever. 2015 or whatever. I would
all right,
say that
I
maybe,
get
you
it.
know what
I'm
I'm
an
saying?
outlier. I
Like,
was an old fucker when I had my daughter. I get it. Okay, I got you.
hey, you said it, not me. Do you have some deep-seated issues you want to talk about, Matthew? Are we here? Lay back down on your couch there, and we'll just work it all. We'll just work it all out tonight. For a second, I thought a punk with toys came in because Eric Thurman said punk, and I was like, is he calling you a punk or is he calling me a punk?
I
Who's
don't
it,
know.
punk? Who knows? Punk hasn't been in here in a while. He gave up on us. Midi chlorines says, Warchess, that's all I need to say. Stupid. Hey, you guys. All right, so
Come on,
um,
everybody wants your midi-chlorian infusion, right? I mean, go get your okay. Maybe you want the midi-chlorian vaccination. Okay, go get that one.
oh no. And Mid-Joseph says, I feel a disturbance in the force, as if a million fans called out and were all at once silenced. OG trilogy for life. What's up, y'all? I did watch a funny video. I sent it to you, Matthew. It was that animated one where because of like the recent, I say most recent since the original trilogy, since there's been more shows that have shed more light on all kinds of different things, it completely puts different context on a lot of the conversations from Star Wars,
Yeah,
the OG Star Wars movie, and it's pretty funny. It's some pretty funny shit. That
yeah,
video is actually pretty slick. Uh, Especially with Chewbacca and Obi-Wan and yeah, that's some
yeah.
pretty
That's
funny. It's
funny.
pretty
That
good.
is funny.
Uh, oh no, don't even. More chest, stop. Please stop. I'm with you. But again, we have to look at who wrote the film, right? And it was not a good idea. It
Look,
was not a good idea.
and when you come down to brass tacks,
I'll
you
try spinning.
you realize that Marshall Lucas had more to do with the success of Star Wars than almost anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's long been known. I
Yeah.
think we all know that. Damn, I 3-star, I didn't know that, man. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I did not know that you had to go on medication for your low midi-chlorine account. Just get some hymns, dude. Get some hymns. I think it'll I think it'll help with
Hey,
that.
maybe some Rise mushroom coffee will help.
Mushrooms? What?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so disclosure day.
Yeah.
Um, a big disappointment. Look, did it debut or after 4 days over the weekend at #1 at the box office? It did. It has been not compared to Close Encounters, not compared to E.T., but Steven Spielberg himself was telling people that this will make you reconsider your religion. That this film will make you reconsider, what
Didn't
you
he say
think
it would
about
have Christians
God.
reconsidering their religion? I mean, nobody
Ab-
else, just the Christians. So
Absolutely.
I think that's what he said.
And
I
and
think it just
so,
has us reconsidering our faith in you, Stephen.
well, and so this quote here, and just to give you guys again a little context, says the new Alien movie Disclosure Day will make Christians second guess their religion, fundamental beliefs, um, based off of basically everything that I have read, even seen, because I've watched a little how I like to watch things sometimes. Um, yeah, it's this is probably going to go down in the list of Spielberg movies as maybe not one of the worst, but probably a huge disappointment considering what he had done prior with sci-fi and his pedigree with with sci-fi movies, particularly aliens.
Yep.
I remember as a youngster watching Close Encounters when it would come on network television on like the
Yeah.
ABC movie of the week on Sunday night, and it's such a good film, right?
Yeah.
It's everything
Absolutely.
about it sparks the imagination, and there's so many good scenes. Of course, Richard Dreyfuss is fantastic, right? Absolutely fantastic, and and then Joseph says, I heard Disclosure Day was so bad it'll make you question your faith in humanity. Make me question my faith in Hollywood. Well,
Hollywood.
never
Well,
mind. That's sorry. um, but it's unfortunate because what's kind of happened, it seems like, is when is the last time Steven Spielberg made a really good film? And I have a list. I have a list that was put together. I think this is by Esquire. And it has all of his movies ranked from worst to best. Now, this is their ranking. I thought it would be fun for us to take a look at this list and not only have our own issues maybe with where these movies fall in the list, but also maybe discuss a couple of these films and maybe try to figure out, maybe the chat can help us figure out, where did things really kind of go wrong, or where did he stop being a influential filmmaker, not from the past,
right.
but present on, and maybe where was that line of demarcation, okay? But also with these lists, they're always curious to me, just in the basic fact of what they put and where they put it. That's the other thing, and so I think we could have a little fun with this list. So let me pull this up here. Let me whip this thing out. Okay, every Steven Spielberg movie ranked. All right, of course, great picture there. Um, they're gonna start at number 36. Actually, 36. 1941, his attempt at comedy from 1979. Now, it's been a long time
It's still
since I
kind of
saw it.
funny. Still kind
Long
of funny.
time since I saw 1941. Is anybody in the chat familiar? Have you seen 1941? Is it kind of right about where it needs to be? This was not a successful movie, really.
It
It's
was
not
not.
fondly looked on.
It's not finally looked at. It's got its moments. It's kind of funny. It really is a bad comedy.
Um, Again, it's been a very long time since I've seen it, but I have heard it referred so many times in many lists and many conversations about Spielberg. So number 36, 35, Always, 1989. Now, do you remember this film at all? I do
No,
not really remember this film. I don't. I really don't.
no.
Um, it's let's
Wait, what
see
year
here.
was that?
It's 1989.
No, I mean,
It's it's
was that the year the movie came out?
yes,
Oh, Always.
yes,
Sorry,
always.
not.
No, it's okay.
I thought you were saying the name of the movie was
No,
1989.
no, no. It's called Always,
Yeah. No,
and
I do remember Always.
this is a remake of a movie called A Guy Named Joe. It tells the story of a dead pilot who ghost mentors a newer pilot. Meanwhile, the new pilot falls in love with the girlfriend he left behind on Earth. Um, look, it's in one
It's
sense
not.
says
It's
it's
not a
a
great movie.
pilot movie. I,
Yeah.
I don't recall it. Maybe I did see
No,
it.
well, so just to be fair, he was also making Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade at the same time. He had just finished Empire of the Sun and was working on Hook.
Well,
So, you
yes, and
know,
you'll also find that while he was waiting on post production for some films, he was shooting other films. So he
Mhm.
was staying very busy during a certain
Yeah,
period of time. That
yeah,
without a doubt. Okay, the BFG. Okay, this is bad.
this is
I
bad.
I've seen it. The CGI in this movie is really bad in my opinion. I think it looks like
It's
garbage.
it's terrible.
Um, at number 34, I mean, so far, okay, fine.
But
This is
the movie he made right before this was, in my opinion, his last good film.
all right. Well, we'll get there. All right, The Adventures of Tintin. This is also one of those
Eh,
weird mocap.
it was
Uh,
okay. It wasn't as
remi-
bad as all that.
yeah, it reminds me of the Polar Express style of
Yeah.
3D motion capture. That's probably for me more memorable about The Adventures of Tintin than anything else, in my opinion.
I thought Tintin
Uh,
was better than Warhorse though, but
really?
I don't
Okay.
know.
All right. No, no, no. That's what this is all about. This is why I wanted to go through this list because
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting. 13th Assassin, big fucking gorilla. You would think. Uh, no, it wasn't a big gorilla, my friend. It's hang on, let me go back up. There we go. It's the yeah, the Roald Dahl book,
Yeah.
which some of you guys may be big fans of Dahl's work.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
you
fine.
know,
It just wasn't that great a movie.
yeah.
Amistad. Now,
Okay, Amistad at
I
number
thought this,
32.
I thought this was a pretty good movie.
I'm a little surprised this is at number
Yeah,
32 because
me
here's what
too.
happens with lists like this is you come across a movie and then you start going, wait, that is ahead of this.
Yeah.
So Amistad, I didn't think was that terrible at all.
No.
To have it at number 32, I'm a little surprised. Now, they don't really give their reasons. This is one of those things for me where they write an article and then they don't give the reasons why they think the movie is where it is. It's just their ranking, and then they comment on the synopsis of the film. But they don't really say this is why we don't like it. Because as the very last sentence of this little blurb says, Amistad is Spielberg working at his finest, even if the movie isn't his best. Well, that doesn't make a lot
That
of
doesn't make
sense
any
to me.
sense. I mean,
Right.
you're going around in circles to try and justify
Right.
why you said I just don't like this movie and just threw it down there.
It's this oh wow, this movie isn't about a shopping trip. No, it's not. Although I was hoping that some of those college football players are going to be available at Joe Fest so I can go
Yeah.
down there and get a couple of the other players. A couple of
What the McFarlane ones or the Harvinger Studio ones?
No, the Harbinger.
Yeah, those
Because
are much better.
if anybody watched the Road to Joe Fest or the Joe Fest special on Thursday with a friend, if somebody clipped what I said on there, you might go back and watch that stream. I had a couple funny comments about the players and trying to buy certain players.
Yeah.
So yes, this is not a shopping trip movie. Look, Empire of the Sun
Now that kind of pisses me off right there because
at 31.
this is a good movie. This is a good movie.
I'm I'm shocked. Now it has little bitty Christian Bale.
Again, you're putting this movie above Warhorse.
Oh, okay. Well, there are others, my friend.
I
Trust me
well, I
on that.
well, it's getting me that like his worst films haven't been listed yet.
And that's why these
I don't
lists
know
are
why we need to
always
give this list
interesting.
any credence whatsoever.
Well, I just think I'm not giving it credence.
We're
That's why I
talking
want to
about it.
go through it so we can look at it and go, okay, really? Like, does this
Yeah,
fit?
this is dumb.
This is out of whack, right?
Yep.
As G.I. Jetman says, a little bit of trivia, always was Audrey Hepburn's final movie. I
Yep.
did not actually know that.
Yep.
Ben Joseph says Minority Report was, in my opinion, the last good movie from Spielberg, and that was in 2002. Okay,
Well,
so
so in my opinion, there are two other movies that he made after that that were also really good. Actually, three other movies that I thought were really good,
so
including the
let's
one he made that same year.
all right. So as Ben Joseph says, Empire really well acted. Raiders will always be number one, not Jaws, but I think AI was dog shit. Probably any Tom Hanks movie. Okay, so just wait, because this is again where it gets really fun, because this list is going to really piss some of you guys off. Sugarland Express. You look, I'd have to go back and watch it to see if it holds up.
It was good for the time. I don't know that it holds up, but I there's still a lot of good themes and stuff that happened in it.
I mean, it's been a really, really,
Yeah,
really long
yeah,
time. This was his kind of I guess, really his first movie. Duel was a TV movie.
Duel was amazing.
Of 100%.
But yeah, Firelight, Duel, those were his first ones. Sugarland Express was the theatrical debut.
Yes. War Horse at 29, a movie because you hate horses.
I don't hate horses. It's not that bad of a movie, but it's worse than some of these others that have already been listed.
Yeah, War Horse. Look, I didn't mind War Horse. It is one of those heartstring tugging kind of movies.
Sure.
You obviously know it immediately. Well, not immediately, but once dude goes blind and once everything happens, it is a spoiler alert. But nonetheless, yeah. I enjoyed War Horse. I'm not gonna lie, I did like it. G.I. Jetman liked it. We have that in common. Me and G.I. Jetman were brothers in arms for War Horse. The Lost World, Jurassic Park, 1997 at number 28.
Now that's that bullshit right there.
That's that bullshit.
Listen, I mean, listen. You can bag on the sequels to the Jurassic Park movies all you want, but the first three that they made were still a whole lot better than some of the later ones.
Yeah, no, I agree. Although this one generally is panned for the most part. We see a young Vince Vaughn there,
Yeah,
handsome lad.
sure.
Handsome lad.
And I knew that one's not going to be very high. I get it.
No. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull at number 27.
Whatever.
Look, I wanted this movie to be so good, but Shia LaBeouf.
It's better than the last one.
Swinging on fucking vines.
It's better than the last one.
Some people disagree.
Oh, no. There's no real disagreement.
Some people disagree with the Dial of Dysentery. I think that
the Dial of Dysentery is the worst piece of dysentery.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was such a disappointment.
It was
an absolute,
huge disappointment.
Just disappointment.
We wanted so much for it because you brought back Karen, Margot Kidder. You had this great interaction with everybody, and then you threw in Shia LaBeouf. And you did George of the fucking Jungle, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
No, this is
you had Indiana Jones get blown away in a nuclear test, saved by a lead-based refrigerator.
I mean, hey, try it. You
Still
might like it.
Better than Dial of Dysentery.
Okay, 26. Hook from 1991.
Okay, fuck you. I love this movie.
I do too. I actually like Hook.
No, if you want to tell the end of Peter Pan's story, this is probably one of the best interpretations of the end of Peter Pan's story that they've ever put out there.
I love the premise of this movie.
The whole premise of this movie. It matches, the timelines fit. It's a classic. It really is a classic. Rufio.
I mean, seriously, like when this
How poignant was that moment when Rufio was killed?
Sure. Absolutely.
Right? Because
I agree.
you were not expecting it from this movie. And then all of a sudden Rufio dies.
I mean, seriously though, like I honestly, genuinely, whenever this movie would come on, and let's say you got cable and it's on TBS or TNT or whatever the hell, and it would come on, like I would leave it on.
Yeah.
I would leave this movie on. It's not one I'm going to bounce off of. I'd leave it on. If my son was over, I'd put it on, leave it on to watch it, or have it on the background. But yeah, I genuinely, like you, do like this movie. So it's kind of weird.
Next to the original stories of Peter Pan, this is my probably favorite Peter Pan movie besides the Disney cartoon.
I'm with you, man. The Twilight Zone, the movie, 1983. I have a great history with this movie because this was in for me, the early days of being able to go to a friend's house and watch cable television, HBO, Cinemax.
Nice.
And
yes,
so
Cinemax.
This was huge for me when this movie came out. I know that there are parts of it people extremely dislike, but I actually do have a fondness for this movie because I used to watch it on cable when we did not have cable, and I got to see it at my best friend's house. And there's memorable skits, right? Or memorable short stories from this movie. I know you guys remember
Yeah.
them and they stand out. And for
Yep.
me, that's the mark of a good movie. You
Yeah.
know, I had so much fun with this. As 13th Assassin says, Twilight is a great movie. Mendoza says saw it in the theater as a kid. Love that movie so much.
Yeah.
I
It's
probably
one of those impressionable things, right?
it was totally. I mean, the gremlin, the girl who's trapping people, or the no, the little boy rather, that's trapping people in the house. Removing people's ability to speak, or the
Mhm.
cartoon monsters killing them. Like that stuff was just so Wish it away, right? It was just so to me so memorable at that time. And so I have fondness for that movie. Okay, at 24, Ready Player One.
I hate this movie. Um, it's got some points in it that are fine. It's whatever, but I read the book.
Okay, see, that's where you and I differ because I did not read the book. And when I left this movie, personally at the time when I left this movie, I liked the movie
Yep.
when I left the movie theater. I made it a point. I wanted to see it at the theater. I appreciated all of the references. However,
Yeah.
upon a second watching and subsequently a third watching, then I realized why people had such a problem with this film.
The movie's fucking dumb.
It's
It,
he talks about a girl who's so scared she doesn't want to show her face. She thinks she's ugly, and it's like, oh no, you're fucking hot. You just have a birthmark.
yeah.
It's like
Uh,
what?
I mean, the villain is dumb. The movie's dumb. The book did it so much better in every aspect, and there's actual character development and growth because he was a high school student who was fat, overweight, and covered in pimples. And by the end of the movie, he was 10% body fat, lean, mean, fighting machine. An adult who had turned his entire life around and almost sacrificed his entire life to save everyone.
Yeah.
There's this huge thing, and they took all that away from him in the movie.
So, having not read the book, I can't compare it. But yes, when I left the theater, I admit I enjoyed it. Upon subsequent watching, it does not hold up.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really does not. Okay, number 23, War of the Worlds, Tom Cruise, 2005.
So this is kind of my demarcation point with
Okay.
with Spielberg. I like this movie. It's a Tom Cruise movie. It's a retelling of War of the Worlds. I thought they did a good job with it. But this is there is really, I think, one movie after this that he made that was decent. Um, yeah, you could argue two, but I would say definitely two, 1 to 2 movies after this point that are worth watching,
So
and that's about it.
I want to know if anybody in the chat liked this particular version of War of the Worlds. Whether when it came out or whether you've watched it since then and it grew on you. There are parts about this film I do like. There are parts about it that don't make a lot of sense to me, like Tom Cruise not being able to make a freaking sandwich, like peanut butter jelly sandwich for his kids. It's embarrassing, and I don't know what they were doing. Now, look, that's obviously a supreme nitpick, but
Yeah.
it is. There are some stylistic choices in this movie. I think the his son is a part of the story that's just really stupid. I think that his desire all of a sudden to flip and want to join the military, but then literally after that, it's just like uh, gone almost in an instant. Instant. It's just there's just some strange choices in this movie. Did I enjoy it when I first saw it? I did. Would I still enjoy it now? There are parts that I do, but there are parts that I do have issues with. But 2005, and I'm with you in a sense as far as that line kind of.
I
Let's
think I think
see.
2005 is that line.
And War Chest says this was one of the last movies that he did that I liked too.
Yep.
Minority was good, but Colin just didn't fit in that movie. And then 13th Assassin says, I prefer Jeff Wayne's musical version of War of the Worlds.
Mhm.
And Joseph says, I like the Tim Robbins scene in War of the Worlds, but not really a great movie to me. And I am a fan of the original book.
Yep.
Um,
I
and
get it for
and
sure.
also the series was a guilty pleasure. Yeah,
Man, this series was so bad. But I get it. I
but
totally
hey,
get it.
but that's a guilty
Totally
pleasure,
get
right?
it.
That's what a
Totally
guilty
get
pleasure
it.
is. Okay, number 22, Disclosure Day.
So no, I mean this is recency bias on this movie
Has
because
to be.
it has to be because War of the Worlds is far better than this piece of crap.
Yeah, it has to be. And again, admittedly, having not seen it or seen at least, and I say most of the film, I've only just looked
Why
at
have
like
we
a
not even
couple
talked
scenes.
about West Side Story yet? I mean,
Okay,
come on.
hang on, Matthew. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, just wait. There's more. Um, number 21, AI, artificial intelligence. This was a movie I bought on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
When I got my first Blu-ray player, I bought it on Blu-ray, and I was bored as hell.
I get it. This movie doesn't stand up today. It does not stand up today. When
No.
it came out, it was one of those movies that was still hard to get through because there's a lot of concepts that he's going through. It's just, it's not presented in the best light. I totally get this one. This
I
is
also
not one of my favorite Spielbergs.
I also feel that the movie should not have had a happy ending.
Well, yeah, no, it should not
And
have.
and in this little review here, in this little thing, it says, and the ending will crush you. No, it doesn't. It should have ended horribly, and I think it would have left more of a mark than it did.
Yeah.
Number 20, The Terminal, 2004.
This is a good movie.
Yeah, Terminal's a good movie.
Terminal's a good
enjoyable,
movie.
very enjoyable. But yeah, I like Terminal just fine.
Hey, you know what, War Chest? There's several movies that I like that kid in, so whatever.
And he's talking about obviously Haley Joel Osment, and then 3 star said not even realistic. He only had 10 fingers. Okay, number 19, West Side Story.
Okay, there we go. Finally, but yeah, no, it should have been lower on the list. This was a big piece of shit and should never have been made. The way he presented it too was just dumb.
Yes. This
no
also,
translation for the Spanish language
okay,
in an American and a Western movie.
Okay,
I mean,
you're absolutely right, and that's the part that I wanted to mention as well, is that there was no translation for this movie, and that was definitely on purpose, like definitely on purpose.
Yeah, it's a choice for sure.
So number 18, Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
and the
fuck
horse
you.
you rode in on.
100%. You kidding me?
Now, this is my third favorite Indiana Jones movie, but it still is. It's a good one. But here's the thing. What year was that? That was 84, right?
84.
Let me see. Temple of Doom. Okay, he did direct it. Okay, yeah, just directed, not produced or written.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. This also was when George Lucas was going through a divorce.
Yes,
and
there's a lot of things going on with this one.
Yes, so it affected.
But I mean, come
the
on,
scripting.
Kalima Shakti Day. Come on,
dude.
Round.
I love Temple of Doom. Love
Short
Temple
Round.
of Doom.
And it's one of those more fun, exuberant adventure films, right? It's those serialized adventures.
Right.
Yeah, they did jump out of an airplane into an inflatable raft, right, to go down the side of a mountain.
Yeah, it's goofy. It has those goofy elements, but it's action adventure. It is fun. Yes, that's stupid, but it doesn't distract from me.
And the screaming girl.
Really
but I mean, come on, the moment when they have to find that hidden door.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. But Joseph says, I get it. Temple of Doom is acquired taste, like a Godzilla movie. I don't even know if it's acquired. I mean, it's just it's Indiana Jones on an adventure. And it's like the monkey brains and all that. Eric says that's one of my favorites. 3 stars says Temple of Doom is my jam. Even Willie Scott doesn't really.
No, she doesn't. She really does make the movie.
Yeah,
And yes, her screams are annoying as fuck,
they are, but
but
whatever.
it fits the movie.
It's
It
fine.
fits the whole whirlwind of events that happened to this poor
Yes.
lounge singer, right? That got thrown into this adventure at the last second.
Right. Yeah, man.
I'm right here. Yes,
Right. Uh,
the snake, right? Remember the
yep.
snake?
The Post 2017. This was a self-indulgent. We're the media. We are better than you are. Look at how virtuous we are. Movie. I can't.
Yeah,
This.
no,
Yeah.
this movie is. You said it best. It's a self-indulgent piece of crap. I mean, it doesn't even fit a proper narrative in terms of storytelling. It just doesn't make any sense as you go through it, and it's so irrelevant. The Post in
Oh,
2017,
Christ.
there's no Post.
Already.
There's no printed media that anybody's paying attention to. Not
Right.
reality in 2017.
Not by then.
Print media was dead in early 2010s.
Yeah, that's and I think it's maybe his way of trying to not only be nostalgic
Yeah,
towards that, but yeah, and
hoity
look, hey,
toity, look how
put
much better.
put Meryl Streep in it, put Tom Hanks in it,
Or put
right?
Meryl Streep in it kills it for me too.
Uh,
So there's that.
you have Bridge of Spies.
This is his last good film.
Okay, 2015. So we're
Yeah.
11 years ago.
Yeah, Bridge of Spies was 2015,
Okay.
and I think that literally was his last good film. But he had so many stinkers in between 2005 and 2015 that it's kind of hard to judge. But he knocked one out of the park with Bridge of Spies.
What about Munich in
Yeah.
2005?
So, like I said, 2005. That's my demarcation point, right? Because you've got two movies in 2005 that he made that were pretty darn good. War of the Worlds I liked in Munich,
Do you
and
remember when
then
Eric Bana was going to
bam.
be a thing?
Well, yeah, but then he played the Hulk, right?
And that was it. All right, so they do put Duel on this list at number 14.
You know what? This is a TV movie,
It's so good.
but it's so darn good.
Oh, the tension.
The
freaking
tension?
tension in this. Oh, it's
This
so
is
good.
one of the lowest budget movies you could find that has incredible storytelling, visual storytelling that takes place between these two men on this highway, and you never really see the other guy's face ever, right? It's just the truck.
No. Yeah,
It's just a
menacing.
truck,
Yes.
and you see his legs or whatever. This movie hits a lot of things on a lot of cylinders, and this was the first thing that actually there was one more before that, but basically this was the first thing that he really did that got him noticed.
Just coming out of the gate, baby. I just, man, this is so much fun, and like I said, the tension
Yeah, no,
it is so great. It's great storytelling. Okay, Minority Report.
great movie,
I love Minority Report. I
great movie.
truly do. This is a movie that Prince paid for me to go see at a movie theater in Chanhassen, Minnesota. And so I'll always have a special place in my heart for this film. But no, I do. I actually do really enjoy this movie.
Good movie.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah,
And look, it's I get it. There are some people that have issues with it, as I think it was Warchest earlier said about was it Colin Farrell?
yeah.
But man, I really did. I always liked this film. Okay,
Jaws better be number one. I don't know that it's going to be number one.
we
but,
shall see. Now,
but it is a great movie.
It's funny because Hollywood Reporter also put out their own list, and there's discrepancies between the two. You guys would be
Of
shocked
course.
at some of that. But Lincoln coming in at number 12.
This was a boring movie. It didn't tell a great story. Daniel Day-Lewis is trying to kill it as the actor.
Oscar bait. It's Oscar bait.
It's totally Oscar bait, but it's just not entertaining. It doesn't tell anything interesting, in my opinion.
No, I thought it could have been done a lot better personally. It just, for me, even though as Oscar bait, it just didn't feel like it was that level.
Yeah.
And look, Daniel Day-Lewis. Look, I get it. He is an amazing, amazing actor, but
I mean, yeah.
I don't
I
know.
mean,
I
Joseph
need,
says it. 3 Star says it. It's
yeah,
boring as fuck.
yeah, and I need something that gives me a little more meat to chew on, things I didn't know. Color
Yeah.
Purple, 1985.
I mean, I thought that one would have been a little bit higher on their
I
list, but
I agree. I agree for reasons.
yeah, for reasons. I mean, it's a great movie. Yeah,
um,
yeah, I love that movie, but
yeah.
yeah, it's
Okay. The Fablemans. I
now
think
this
again
is the biggest.
recency bias for me.
This is the biggest self-indulgent piece of shit, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's basically his story
He
and
should not have directed this.
yeah, I agree.
You have to let go of it. You have to be a producer on it, whatever you want, but you can't have, directing control over this movie. Maybe, I don't know, writing, I don't even know if you should have that
Yeah,
because
I was gonna say I don't even know if you should have that.
yeah,
Um,
because if this is being told about you, there is no objectiveness.
I
The
think it hit
Fablemans
yes.
is a fictional version of everything, and you have to know going into it. This is Spielberg's vision, a fictionalized version of his childhood. It is not what actually took place in his childhood.
And I guess from that perspective, then okay, like if that's what you want to do, but I agree with you. I think in someone else's hands, it maybe would have been uh, reacted to better.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty on the nose, that's for sure. It's
yeah.
pretty on the nose with his life and what happened with him and his
I
relationship with his father. And
well, but some of that's very fictionalized too. And again, it's one side of the story.
well, that's true. Purple Rain being another movie that was somewhat
Well, yeah.
supposed to be, but not written by Prince. It's
Mm-hmm.
like still written by somebody else. But there are correlations being made. Okay, Indiana
Yep.
Jones and the Last Crusade at number 9. This is
Okay.
such a great movie too.
I mean, I
So good,
absolutely love this movie on
so good.
every aspect. I love the hell out of this
The
movie.
relationship with him
Yeah.
and his dad, it's so perfect in this film. It really is. It's so memorable,
Yep.
and almost every scene is honestly like a treat. Whether it's a comedic, whether it's supposed to be serious.
Yep.
Yeah, this is such a good movie. Such a damn good
Absolutely.
movie.
Yep.
And Joseph says number 9 is about right.
Yep.
War Chest's Last Crusade is kind of a perfect movie. I will put it up there within the Back to the Future category as possibly being the kind of perfect movie, so to speak.
I will. I'm far from saying it's a perfect movie. I'm saying it rounds out a really good trilogy, and probably the second best trilogy that I could think of, with Lord of the Rings being the first.
It's pretty good.
But Back to the Future is up there.
Yep.
The original Star Wars trilogy is pretty good, but that's probably going to be third or fourth on the list for me.
G.I. Jetman says Last Crusade is my favorite of the indie movies. Love it.
I get it.
Jorgensen says Last
Totally
Crusade
get
can
it.
be argued to be better than the
I
last.
don't think it can be argued
Part.
to be better than Raiders of the Lost Ark. Raiders of the Lost Ark is literally a perfect movie.
It is actually. Okay, Catch Me If You Can, number 8. Look, I
Bam.
enjoyed this film. I don't think
Yep.
it belongs at number 8, but it is a fun
Doesn't belong
movie.
at number 8.
I did enjoy this movie,
It is.
but
It's well made. It's
Temple
well
of
acted.
Doom deserves to be up in here in this hierarchy rather than Catch Me If You Can, somewhere in this ballpark.
Yep.
E.T. at number 7.
Okay, so hey, I'm gonna be the bad guy here. I don't like this movie.
Really?
I don't know what it was. I preferred things like Starman and the Explorers and stuff like that.
Okay.
I don't know what it was about this movie that I just found pretentious and boring.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this will be our last show together.
I literally I can't watch this movie today. I mean, I watched this as a kid, but every time I try to watch this movie, I'm gone. I'm asleep. I'm out.
Really?
I just there's a lot of pieces of this movie that I liked. I liked the beginning of this movie, Dungeons and Dragons and Reese's Pieces, and then it all went downhill for me.
Well, Clint is kind of there with you since he's never been able to watch it beginning to end. Menjoza is kind of where I'm at because I'm a big softy. So
Yeah,
this gets me every time Niagara Falls.
I get
Yeah,
it.
especially at the end. Um, yeah, no,
I get
it's
it. I just, for me, it just didn't click. I understand that it clicks with a lot of people, and I understand why. I mean, one of
now.
my favorite scenes is probably the trick or treat scene when you have somebody dressed up as Yoda walking
Yes,
by,
yes,
right?
yes. Now, I will say, as a kid, it did confuse me when Elliot takes him to the strip club. That threw me off. I was really not understanding that whole scene as a child at 7 years old. I get it now, but, and of course, his neck being able to, hey, that's special treat there. Okay, let's see here. Not the fleshlight version. Whoever said that? Oh, not the flashlight version. I totally misread that.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
thought you were talking about the Millie Alcock Supergirl drink.
cup, the grip cup. It's called the grip cup, by the way. Yeah, I got to look for a picture of that and show it to you guys here before we get off.
Oh my
So,
gosh!
so
Hey, before we
Mendoza's
get off, is that really how you wanted to phrase that?
exactly. G.I. Jet says E.T. should be in the top five. Cooking with Eric says Elliot. Ward Chess says E.T. was a huge part of my childhood, as it probably was most of ours.
Yeah,
And it has a special place for me.
sure.
For sure, some of my best family memories growing up when I had one. I will tell you one quick memory before we continue on is I was 7 years old, and there was a kid up the street named Jason, had a birthday party, and that summer there were a few movies that were out, if I'm not mistaken, 1982, and it was Superman, Superman 2, I believe.
Two.
I think it
Yeah,
was Superman 2.
yeah,
You had E.T. and Annie.
yeah.
You might you and so here it is, bunch of kids, mostly boys, and they're like, Jason, we're gonna take your birthday party to the movie theater. What movie do you want to see? And we're all like, we want to see E.T. We want to see E.T. And he's like, I want to see Annie. So
Mm.
we all went to the movie theater for his birthday, and we saw Annie.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no one was sorrier than me. On top of that, there was a massive thunderstorm that knocked the power out, and we had to sit there in the dark and then wait for the movie to come back on. And it was like,
Nice.
can we just leave and go to like Chuck E. Cheese or Showbiz or something? It was so bad. I agree with the flashlight scene where they took the guns out of the hands of the agents and they
Well, okay,
replaced
so
with
Spielberg
flash
has
with
said
the
that was
walkie
a,
talkies.
yeah.
Actually, wasn't it?
Spielberg has said that was a stupid mistake, and he put it back in later because he realized I get it. But
Yeah.
I mean, when was that remastered? Uh-huh. Yeah. I
Oh,
think
oh,
we're
oh,
talking
oh,
about the
oh,
same
oh.
time.
Okay. Yeah, 3-star mentions the ETs, the ET aliens being on Coruscant in the
Yeah.
Senate chamber, which is always that
That
was
was
kind of
fun.
interesting, right? Kind of
Yeah.
fun. Okay. Speak and Spell. Who didn't like Speak and Spell?
Yeah. I had one of
Okay,
those.
so people are bringing up the Saving Private Ryan. Well, that's number six.
Yep.
Number six, Saving Private Ryan. One of the best films of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean it is a great World War II film, and Spielberg has spent much of his career writing about that era, and I
right.
think he's done a really good job about writing about that era. But considering that one of the latest movies that's come out about the weather pressure, right? It's about a weatherman
Oh
in World War
yes,
II. Okay, I think we're
yes,
done telling World War II stories.
yeah. We might be
I
there.
mean, between Spielberg's catalog and everybody
And
else's,
look, it is a period that I thoroughly enjoyed as a kid. I love
yeah.
Sergeant Rock comics, so I loved
Well, he was more
reading about
Vietnam,
Sar.
but
No, Sergeant Rock. No,
yeah.
it was World War II. Every Sergeant Rock comic I have was him
Okay.
fighting Nazis,
Okay.
literally. Every single one of them I still have and had back in the day. Uh, and it was because of World War II. It was I love that period. I love the uniforms. I love everything about it. I love the
Yeah.
fact we're kicking ass and taking names. Uh, we're coming to America. Okay, anyway, so number five, Schindler's List.
There you
For
go.
all you
Bang.
Schindler's List
Banger.
fans, there you go. Number five.
Absolutely.
Um, yes, it is a fantastic movie. Um, Obviously, it has one of our favorite Jedi
Yeah.
In
The best Jedi.
the yes, probably the actual best Jedi when you break it down to brass tacks.
Yep.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind coming in at number 4.
Incredible movie. Everybody killed it on this one.
It's so this scene in particular right here is
Yeah.
so memorable, so memorable.
Yeah. Every
There's
every point
so
about
much
that.
about this movie that's so good, and Richard Dreyfuss absolutely just crushes it.
Yep.
The music, obviously, is so memorable. Everybody knows the notes and used to do the notes and play the notes on their xylophone or on their recorder or whatever you have.
Hey,
Uh,
Carlos, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying, okay, we're making World War II movies about the weathermen now.
yeah, I saw
The
that.
movie,
Yeah,
the movie's a good
yeah.
movie. I don't deny that.
When
But
I saw
I'm just
that,
saying,
I wondered how much other stories can we
right?
squeeze out of
Yeah,
this. I totally get it, and what you said a few minutes ago totally makes sense. Um, yeah, it just, but nonetheless, this movie, and again, when they played it on network television, that for me was always kind of a must see
yeah,
event, pre VCR or even
yeah,
post VCR
absolutely.
because
Yeah,
tapes
man.
were $100. Jaws is number 3,
The
1975.
beginning of the blockbuster, baby.
This is by far. I mean, look, this movie, and as War Chest said it earlier, but it literally made people not want to get into the kiddie pool
Yeah.
at their local swimming center or pool,
I
area.
mean, Kevin Smith refuses to get in the ocean because of this movie to
I
this
mean,
day.
seriously, this literally was responsible for people going out and absolutely killing sharks. Who knows how many.
Even the sharks that are relatively harmless.
Oh, absolutely. It was most definitely
We would not have
responsible.
Shark Week without this movie.
Very true. But just the imagery, obviously, the fact that the mechanical shark kept breaking down, and so that made them do the first person perspective, which made it even better, which I always find is a better narrative choice of filming from the killer or the whatever the stalker's eyes,
Yeah,
and instead of revealing your monster, you hide your monster for most
because
of
you
the
had
film
to. Because you
because you
had to.
had to, right?
So much of this movie was made because of necessity. I mean, one of the greatest scenes in the entire movie is filmed between two actors who hate each other's guts
Oh
so
wow.
much,
Yes.
and they get into it in this scene in the boat, and it was the one time that ship captain, that actor, was not drunk on set.
Even though he
He
looks
was
it.
he looks it, but he was stone cold sober for the first time in any of his scenes ever. In the scene where he's playing himself drunk, and the conflict back and forth between him and Dreyfus is just priceless. It's
That
amazing.
it has so many memorable scenes, but
Yeah,
obviously you're correct. That one in particular is so good comparing scars. And yeah, they had a lot of issues with Robert Shaw on
yeah.
set, and he did not like Richard Dreyfuss at all.
No,
And he used to talk shit to him on set during their scenes every day, all day. But to get that memorable scene out of it is just unbelievable. So Jurassic Park comes in at number 2. Obviously, you guys can guess what
great
number
movie.
1 is. Look, Jurassic Park changed filmmaking also. This is another
Yep.
movie that completely changed filmmaking. The CGI in Jurassic Park still looks better today than 90% of the movies coming out of Hollywood
Well, and
right
and
now.
and this comes back to the battle, right? The battle that was had behind the scenes, the battle of the CGI artist versus the practical artist, and the fact that they were fighting so hard for viability in this film, and they had to make a choice on the matter, and they found a way to combine them perfectly.
They did
It's
practical
so
and
great.
visual, and Harrison Ford actually was, from what I understand, supposed to actually be playing the main role,
Yeah,
and that Sam Neill got. That did not go down.
I'm
But
glad it didn't.
it would have been interesting had we gotten Harrison
It
Ford
would
in
it would not
1993.
it would not have been as good.
I agree. And then yes, Raiders of the Lost Ark
The perfect
is
movie.
number one.
The perfect movie.
I have to admit, this is also as a kid growing up. I mean, this literally is, for me, I can remember going to see this movie with my dad and my uncle in the movie theater. I was a little over 5 years old at the time, but I can remember sitting in the theater with my dad and my uncle and my sister, and you know, you don't really know, you don't understand, like you get it, like this is awesome, but to me it was Han Solo with
Yeah.
a hat on. But this film is, I'm with you, man. It is also one of kind of your perfect films
Yeah.
that
So
came out of Hollywood.
this movie is taught in film school. If you want to look at shot composition, if you want to talk about lighting, if you want to talk about storyboarding, if you want to talk about storytelling, visual storytelling, you come back to this movie every time because this is a perfect movie.
The plane, the dotted lines on the map, right?
Yeah.
Going from country to country, is just so cool. But when he shows up, in the Arctic, the whole scene with Marion doing shot for shot,
No,
right?
yeah.
It is
I mean, the way they did the
so
light and the shadow and how they showed the other
right.
guys in the shadow. And no, I mean, there's so many things were so epic in this.
Um, Yeah, visual storytelling. And look, I get it. I could see why people felt Raiders was, or not Raiders, Temple Doom was such a departure.
Oh, yeah.
I guess because of the fantastical parts of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, on the set of this movie, the famous thing where he was battling the flu, and he off the cuff improv the whole scene where
Dysentery.
that's right, dysentery, and he pulls the gun out, right, and shoots the guy who has the sword, and he's
They
just
had
sitting
an
there and going,
elaborate fight scene all set up, and they
yep,
did this, and it made one of the greatest things ever.
yep, definitely, and of course the big German in front of the plane, uh, you know, uh, that scene is so memorable as well. The chase scene on horseback with the convoy is perfect. Yeah, there's so much about it that's so good, and always, even at the end when he's telling Marion, don't open your eyes, close your eyes, and you see the ghosts, right, flying around. The melting of the characters, faces was so iconic at that time. It's just unbelievable,
Yep.
and Clint Jorgensen says, "We're glad Hasbro did a Raiders 6-inch line." And Carlos, yes, so many great scenes. So
Yeah.
that's the Steven Spielberg list for Esquire.
Yeah.
Uh, there were some differences, I believe, that I just wanted to touch on for you guys. Now, I'm not going to say that this was not, because I have not looked into this list as far as like directing and
No.
producing. Okay, this is just a list, but Hollywood Reporter had E.T. at number one. Actually, they had Jaws at number two, Munich at number three. They had Schindler's List at number four, West Side Story at number five. At number five. Warhorse, number six. Bridge of Spies, number seven. Minority Report, number eight. Last Crusade at number nine. Empire of the Sun, number 10. Jurassic Park, 11. I mean, look how far we have to get. Look,
No.
Poltergeist, actually.
He didn't
Now,
direct
well,
Poltergeist.
exactly, and I think, and I believe they even mentioned it. Says that Toby Hooper obviously
Yeah.
directed it, but so that's what I mean. This list doesn't necessarily
Mm.
mean of what he specifically directed.
Yeah. So you can't even count their list because they're not even
Right.
looking at the same criteria. You
Raiders is
put
at number
14.
14.
Fuck you.
Yeah, Hollywood Reporter definitely has some issues. And
Was
it
this
goes
Mark
beyond
Bernardin?
this
Has he
list.
gone off his rocker again? Who wrote this bullshit?
It actually wouldn't surprise me because the other list was compiled by various people who kind of put in their 2 cents.
Listen, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
let's go up to the top because Saving Private Ryan, I think, is look number 21.
Oh my god.
You have Duel at 23, Temple of Doom 24, behind West Side Story. Like seriously,
Nah, yeah, I mean, there's some heavy bias on a
just
lot of this
brutal. And
bullshit,
this is
obviously.
someone named Darren Franick who put
Okay,
together that list. So
so nobody.
whatever. Yeah, I don't know who the
You
hell
know,
he
and,
is.
and like I said, I will say it again and again. 2005 is the point at which there's a sharp turn,
Okay.
and he didn't make another good movie after 2005 until 2015 with Munich, and then never again has he made a good movie. So I don't know what happened in 2005 that changed everything, but I know what happened in 2008. Um, and everything changed after that. 2016 also another big change, right? Obviously, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but but
I get that.
but 2005 is that point at which I can say everything before this point is of quality, whether I appreciate it or not. It is of quality. After that, I can say no. There's only one movie that's of quality. But
So I have I have my own theories on this, and I equate it to musicians and artists of many kinds. I do firmly believe that as you age, your talent level, unfortunately, becomes lesser. Your your zest for new ideas
yes,
and your vigor, how you feel about the world, right? The stories you want to tell. I think they fundamentally change as we get older,
and
and I
this
think
is why Quentin Tarantino has always said you only have so many movies, and for
that's
him, he
right.
said 10.
Yeah, and think
So
about it.
he's got one movie left.
That's a roughly 40-year career.
Yeah,
In essence, I mean, if you think about how long it takes to basically make a movie, you're talking about 40 plus years. But in all honesty, I think as we age, it's unfortunate, but it is a byproduct of what happens to your body and your mind. And I just think that you can look at it through musicians and bands as they age. They don't write
now
music as
I
as well as they used to write music. I mean, it's just we've seen it time and time. I'm not
I,
saying there aren't exceptions to the rule, okay?
and the only way that there is an exception to the rule is how the person views life and the people that they listen to. If they're constantly seeking new ideas, new opinions, new things out there to see what else is going on, but still holding to their core beliefs and understanding rational thought process, then you can still see growth in something really interesting. But if they become emotional or if they become attached to a specific ideal and they don't think critically anymore and they're just listening to all the people around them all the time, then you get caught in this spiral of sameness, right? You're not venturing into anything new. You're just rehashing the old for
Yeah,
nostalgia's sake or whatever.
and I understand that, and look, I think there's a combination of a lot of different factors.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think one of the other things I was talking about, maybe the age factor, is just the energy. Your
Yeah.
energy level. I mean, those
Yeah.
things change, and so being able to continue to push the buttons, to push the envelope, to it's like, and I think what with Disclosure Day being such a disappointment for so many people is because this is kind of considered like the end of the trilogy for a lot of folks, right?
Yeah.
Starting with Close Encounters. And and so I think there was this expectation level, but when you take a step back and you really look at it, and like you said, and like I mentioned earlier, if you go back over the last several years with him, he really hasn't really fallen off when it comes to quality,
Yeah.
and not even the types of stories that he's telling, but in all honesty, it really has fallen off quite a bit in how good of movies he's made, and it has been, unfortunately, a long time at this point since
Yeah.
he was on top of his game.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
it's been 20 years.
yeah, about 20 years, really. GI Jetman had a question
Yeah.
for you. What? Don't make fun of me. Don't worry about that because a lot of people don't know what a cinematographer does. What
So,
at least according to you, Matthew, what is the job of a cinematographer?
so cinematographer is a photographer for the visual medium. So the cinematographer has to set the frames, set the focal points, set the lighting. They have to control the canvas that we see on the screen. So they are the ones who paint the picture that the director has lined out, that the storyboards have drawn out, and they have to put it in frame, into focus, into lighting, into color palettes. They create the entire visual feel and storytelling experience. So the cinematographer is extremely important for a movie to have any weight or value. And you'll see in modern cinema, the cinematographers have gone grayscale. So even with all the colors in the world, everything is grayscaled
Yeah.
and looks like blah, looks like corporate bullshit. Yeah, you go back 20 years and you had actual color in film and it was amazing. And this is why people get drawn to animation, because animation still has, for the most part, that color palette that they no longer want to present in modern filmmaking. The cinematographers have decided to wash everything out, to gray it out, to
Desaturate.
desaturate
Yep. Yep. Nailed it.
everything into the blahness of it all, and that really takes away from connecting with a film on any emotional visual level. So the cinematographer has a great responsibility to interpret the director and the writer's intent in what they're trying to tell. If focal points are another big thing. So when taking a photograph or telling a story, you have to know what to focus on, and not everything can be in focus. And then you learn things like split focus and all these other really cool techniques that they've done over the years to create the image that they want to have on screen. And the cinematographer, huge task.
You nailed it. Literally nailed it. Right on the money, dude. I mean, you couldn't say it any better. I mean, that's literally exactly what that job is. And you think about every movie and TV show and everything that you watch, and think about how critical and how crucial that role is. And like you said, the desaturation of everything these days, and the fact that you have a lot of these movies that now you can't see. They're so dark. They're so dark now that you can't see
Yeah, they're
anything.
crushing the
It's
blacks too
awful.
hard. So
So bad.
they're making high definition films, and what they're not realizing is that high definition films is okay. 4K is the most the human eye can see, the best human eyes, right? So Blu-ray is less than 4K, right? But Blu-ray is what the vast majority of people can actually see. 4K is for the visually proficient, right? People that don't have any eye disfigurements or have to wear glasses or contacts or anything else, right? That don't have any stigmatisms, right? So we can't even see anything above 4K in our eyeballs. It's not possible. So the depth of field and all of those things matter so much to convey a certain aspect of things. And sometimes you have to hyper focus on some detail and blur out other detail to get the point across at the storytelling. Um,
But
yeah.
you've had this focus on HDR, which has been like such a
Okay. Yeah.
and I totally get it. But just strictly in terms of filmmaking now, if you go back and look at in any scary thriller movies, horror movies in particular, but anything, they don't make it so dark that you can't see what the hell's happening on screen, and that is a common thing that happens in a lot of movies these days, and it
And this
just
is my
gets on
problem.
my nerves so
This is my
much.
problem with Spider-Man Noir. is that they crush those blacks so much that there's stuff
Yeah,
that you should be able to see in detail
that's
that you
true.
cannot see in that show on either format, color or black and white,
Right.
because they crush the blacks too much.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a stylistic
yeah,
choice they made. I don't think it works. Vision and POV of the audience, would you say, Matthew Mendoza says, as far as
yeah.
cinematography? Also, don't like shaky cam in place. I also don't like shaky cam for
Look,
Star Wars. It doesn't fucking make sense when they use
there's a
shaky cam in Star Wars in particular.
there's a time and place for shaky
What's up,
cam.
NorCal?
What's up? There's a time and place for shaky cam, and I get it. Okay, it's not something that you can use through an entire movie. It is only something that you can use for specific scenes, for a specific level of excitement, of anticipation, of fear, right? It's for a specific reason that you use shaky cam. We go to watch movies so that we can actually watch the movie. With shaky cam, you aren't seeing shit.
It's a choice that they're trying to portray,
It's an
right, when it
emotional
comes to
choice.
emotion.
Yeah.
My thing is that there are certain properties that it just is not part of that property or it doesn't fit. But a
Right.
lot of times it's used incorrectly, and it's
Right.
also a lot of times. I'm not saying it's used lazily. It's just used in a way that makes it so difficult for the audience member to follow what the hell's happening, just for the sake of showing someone running from something, right?
Right.
Or what? And for a lot of people, it can be downright, sickening.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well,
for a lot of people.
exactly. And that's the thing is that visually speaking, most people have some level of brain damage. I'm just saying, it's true. I see enough patients. I know. I screen it every day. Yeah, we all have some level of it, right? And that affects our visual cortex and how we view things in motion, right?
Right.
And so when you get too much shaky cam, there's a lot of people that can't handle that because their brains have been affected in such a way that you can't visually process it without getting sick or having
Yeah.
other effects.
I have a couple people I know that have real issues whenever there's a movie. Blair Witch Project, they can't watch that film.
Right. I mean,
Cannot watch that
yeah,
film. No matter how much they want to, they never, even back then, I
yeah.
remember them talking about how, like, it's just like, I can't do this. It literally
No,
makes me
I
ill.
remember that was a big thing when that movie came out because
Mm-hmm.
people hadn't experienced that before. And then the Born
Yes.
Identity movies came out and everybody had to
Yep.
experience it.
Carlos, I'm with you. Some of those scenes were definitely extremely dark. That was mentioned in a couple of reviews that I saw, and
Yeah.
I didn't. I probably should have mentioned in mine, but I agree. I agree 100%. I thought there were scenes that were definitely too dark, but that is the new jam. It's like the new thing.
Yeah.
And NorCal Voodoo Toy Box says, absolutely, shaky cam has its place. Unfortunately, it's used incorrectly and
Most of
way
the
too
time.
much. Yes.
Most of the time. And it
Open.
goes back to J.J. Abrams' lens flares, right?
Oh
Time and place for
God!
time
And
and
it's
place for everything.
infected video games now too. It's so over.
Okay, so and that was another criticism that I had of the Motu movie is they used too many lens flares on Skeletor's eyes.
Oh,
Right? It
yeah,
it,
yeah,
it
yeah,
was it was
yeah,
is a bit much. They didn't
yeah.
they didn't need all that.
You mentioned that last week,
Yeah.
actually. Open Range and To Go were the last movies that truly impressed me with the spectacle of cinematography. And also,
No, I get
Joseph
it. The
says,
cinematography is so important, and you know it when you see it. And the movie, one of the movies that, well, the only movie that I ever really walked out of the theater from had the best cinematography that I had seen in so long, but the story was such shit I couldn't take it.
which one?
A Thin Red Line.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because I was trying to figure out because I know I talked about Hot Shots Part
Oh
Two
yeah, yeah,
was one that I just had to get the f up out of there,
yeah.
but that was for a completely different reason.
Yeah.
Mid Joseph says Savage Land was a great mockumentary, found photos, horror film, so good. I thought, yeah, that's something I have to check out.
Yeah.
I actually just watched a little something on that. Actually, maybe 2 days ago, something like that.
So did you ever see the Weird, the Weird Al movie?
No, I did
Because that
not.
was that was
And
the mock biopic made by Weird Al.
And
So
I know it was really people did actually enjoy it because it
yeah,
is so off the hinges. Like it's so
well, but I mean,
ridiculous.
and if anybody thinks it's a biopic, it's not a biopic. It's a mock biopic
Right,
because
right.
that is nothing like the relationship
Yeah,
he
no,
had with his
exactly. I think
father.
that's what people really enjoyed about it
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much was
yeah,
how outrageous.
yeah,
Clint Jorgensen says I walked out of one of the Fantastic Fours with Alva.
yeah. Fan
Was
four
it the
stick.
was it the
No,
Josh Trank
yeah,
one? Maybe that wouldn't
fan four
surprise
stick.
me.
Almost everybody walked out of that one.
That movie sucked,
That
man.
movie was so
I mean,
bad,
I'm serious. That movie
so
absolutely
bad.
sucked, and
I will take
such
a
a
Chris Evans
disappointment.
Fantastic Four over that any time.
Absolutely. The Todd C says the original Conan had really good cinematography.
It had a lot of good storytelling elements with the way they did things, and yeah, I mean, because they pulled things straight off the comic panels from Roy Thomas.
Well, and that's something I feel like that is a conversation that I was hoping to have as we get to you know, well, it's kind of hard. I guess my point about pulling off of comic panels is there are times I don't understand why when you're adapting something that they literally don't adapt something that's already been storyboarded for you, right? The action scenes have been
Look,
storyboarded. Just
you,
pull right from the panels of
the
the book that you're adapting.
the
I just
two
don't get it.
greatest comic book translation movies that have ever been made are 300 and Sin City. Those are the only two movies that have followed the comic panels as precisely and told a story in a visual element and made it into a movie that has been close to perfect. Watchmen did a pretty darn good job, but you have to watch the extended director's cut with everything thrown in to get the full element from the comics, and it's
Yeah.
still a little bit off, but same guy who did 300, right?
Yeah.
And while there are other really great comic book movies, those two movies, Sin City and 300, are almost one for one comic book panel specific movie storytelling.
I just find it impressive when someone can do that.
Yeah.
And look, we all know within comics, yes, there are sometimes some kind of silly or overly fantastical parts within plots, within storylines. And so not all of that stuff is going to translate. I get
Right.
it. You have to adapt. And again, that's what an adaptation is, and being able to maybe take your vision. But I feel like a lot of times when things are storyboarded and you can pull, like The Watchmen, for instance, that you can just directly pull it. Here it is. It's laid out for you.
Yeah.
Adapt that. And yes, maybe make a change here or there, or maybe in the weapon, or as you talked about with The Watchmen, we had the discussion about changing the ending from the squid, right, to what it was in the movie. Um, those are changes that sometimes go over very well, sometimes they don't.
Right.
But nonetheless, when things are storyboarded out like in a comic, I don't understand, especially when it comes
Well,
to Disney and adapting some of the stuff they've been adapting on Disney Plus.
and this goes back to Indiana Jones because I've seen the original storyboards. I've studied the original storyboards for Raiders of the Lost Ark. They drew it all out before they
Yeah,
filmed it, and they
right.
filmed it as they drew it out. Those storyboards are phenomenal. And you look at storyboards from some more modern films, and they're just bullshit. I mean,
Uh,
it's the
yeah.
storyboarding, the skill of storyboarding has gone away in Hollywood. It almost doesn't exist anymore.
um, no, at least the classic way
Not in the
that
way
we
that it
think
was
of
done.
it.
Yeah.
Right. And GI Jetman says I
Can't
can't
watch
watch
Rudy.
Rudy anymore because I found out it's not.
Look,
Yeah, if you ever hear Joe Montana tell the story, he will break it down for you. Joe
yeah.
Montana is not afraid to do that.
And listen. You may like Braveheart as a movie, but know that it has almost nothing to do with reality. Okay.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
some
that's
people that
true.
loved Braveheart so much.
Right.
You know, so many of these historical movies have nothing to do with actual history. And it's sad, but kind of understandable. If you want to tell a story, you've got to beef things up a little bit in some areas. So, It's like
I
in
was
Tombstone, right? Everybody loves Tombstone.
what did I earlier I had mentioned about making sure I showed something or brought up. Do you remember what that was? I hate
Uh,
to
what was it? Was it the fleshlight?
It was. Man, you are awesome. Okay. I'm gonna bring it up so that way we can get out of here. And let's see.
With the new trailer for the Shrek movie looks pretty good, but
Yeah, I kind of want to get into that next week because I
okay.
want to get into Toy Story next week.
Oh yeah,
And
good,
I
good.
wanna get into bringing that up and bringing up that
Yeah.
trailer. All right, let me share this with you guys before we get out of here. Here is the new. This is the Mexico's Sinopolis theater chain allegedly released this merch drink cup, and there you have
Bam.
it. And this is real, by the way. This is a real grip cup.
Yep.
And now these people say it's not real. It's AI from a joke site. I
No, it's
actually,
not. No,
no,
it's
it's
not.
not. It is
No.
actually not. And I saw
Yeah.
people actually look it up.
Yep.
She has a hoodie on,
Yep.
right?
This is her Star Lord hoodie.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah.
G.I. Jetman says, I hope we get to talk about movies next week. Well, we definitely talk about movies every week.
We
But
talking movies tonight. We talking about Disclosure
we
and a
talk
whole
some
bunch of
movie.
movies.
Yeah. Now it's not always a review, right?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we definitely I
Yeah.
will have
Carlos,
Toy Story review
this
for sure next week.
yeah. This
Um,
is a drink cup for the new Supergirl movie with her and her hoodie on.
it's so
That's what that's
stupid.
supposed to be.
It's just brutal. But yeah, look, if we're not talking about a specific movie,
Uh,
it is always movie adjacent, Hollywood news. Sometimes there's not a lot going on. Sometimes we have not had the opportunity to go see something, right? Like we don't get paid to go see movies, so it's if we were getting paid to go see movies and do that, it would be a lot easier for us to just go see everything as much as we could.
yeah.
But we kind of have to pick and choose. But we definitely do the best we can. I know next week I know I will have seen Toy Story 5. I assume you will try to go
Yeah,
if
I'm.
you are,
I mean,
if you can.
yeah, we're
Um,
working on it for sure.
and you guys remember that this upcoming weekend on Sunday is Father's Day. I doubt I'm going to be doing a unfiltered stream on Father's Day night because I probably will have my son and we will be spending time with my dad on Father's Day for most of the day. So I'll tune you guys into that if I am doing a stream Sunday night. But yeah, in person, oh yeah, we'll. I'm sure at Joe Fest, GI Jetman, I have no doubt that there's going to be some discussion come up for sure. So yeah, no worries about that, buddy. Clint Jorgensen, can't wait to talk the next season of Daredevil.
Is there going to be another season?
Yeah, there's one more.
I'm
There's one
teasing.
more.
I know.
I know. Well, some people you might affect their blood pressure, man, by saying shit like that. You know that, right? Uh, but
Charlie Cox and his paycheck.
but I guess that's about all I got for this week, Matthew. Anything that you have coming up you want to make everybody aware of before we get out of here?
We've got Punk's Pit this Friday. So if you are a member of a Punk with Toys, we will be doing a members live stream on Friday night. And then mostly talking about Joe Fest, but all kinds of stuff comes up on that show. So
Yeah,
come
yeah,
join
for
us,
sure.
and we have some guests on, and Punk kind of delegates who can come on and stuff like that. But we try to get most of our regulars on there as much as we can. But if you want to come on, you can message me or Punk, and you can see if that slot is available. No, I'm not going to Joe Fest. Pop is going to be my representative at Joe
Yep,
Fest.
that's right. That's right. Yes, I will be there, and I will be going to get the Savage Crucible exclusive twice, actually. And uh, but yeah, man. So yeah, next Tuesday we'll be back, and like I said, hopefully have Toy Story 5 review.
Oh yeah,
A
Clint.
few other topics for you. What else?
Yeah,
There
Clint,
you go,
totally. I'm
man.
not telling anybody if I'm ever going. I'm just going to be there.
I got to be honest, that would be pretty fun. That would be pretty fun if you just showed up. I love it. But yeah, man. All right, so I guess we'll see you next Tuesday, y'all. And I probably will not see you this Sunday night for a personal stream, but never fear, I will definitely make back up. Well, no, actually, I won't because I'll be at Joe Fest, so it's gonna be a minute. I may have to do a stream in between. I may have to do an unfiltered in between, maybe during the day. I don't know. We'll see, but
Are
I'll
you going to
try to
make
make
it
it up.
back for that Tuesday after Joe Fest and still be aware enough to do a show on that show?
Oh, 100%
Okay.
actually.
All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
no. We'll come back on Monday afternoon. So I will be good to go on Tuesday after Joe Fest, 100%. But we'll be back next Tuesday, y'all. And until then, y'all have a great week. Have a great Father's Day weekend for those of you who get a chance to talk, yeah, and hang out with your dads or have kids. Y'all enjoy, and we'll see you next week, y'all. Appreciate it. See ya.